It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Happy Friday. It is March the 6th. 3 days in a row with our buddy Steven Hyden sitting in for Fletcher. Good morning, Steven.
Good morning. It's early.
You're a morning guy now. Look at you.
Man. I haven't even slept these last 3 days. I just stay
up. That's great. I love
Pulling
that.
an all-nighter.
It's the cheapest drug on earth, sleep deprivation.
That's why you do it.
Ryder!
I busted my ass all day. Now it's time for me to start wrapping things up and look for the exit door.
There you
Put
go.
the sucker on cruise control and get out of here.
One
Happy
foot
weekend.
out the door already.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, I'm feeling Minnesota, Ryder. Lay some headlines on the table, please.
All right, here we go. Kristi Noem is no longer the Homeland Security Secretary.
Aw.
President Trump made the announcement yesterday via a post on Truth Social. I hate getting fired via social media. That's so weird. Noem has faced criticism over her conduct as the head of DHS, ranging from her handling of fatal shootings involving federal agents in Minneapolis to high-priced ad campaigns featuring her. Trump nominated close ally Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin to fill the vacancy. Waymo cars are popping up in Minnesota, and while these vehicles are still operating with human drivers as they map streets, Minnesota lawmakers know they're racing to make a decision on driverless vehicles. Two proposals have emerged at the state capitol, one that explicitly allows autonomous vehicles in the state, and another that would ban driverless cars until an advisory board could study their impact and create a permitting process.
Saw one right outside the windows here Wednesday.
Yeah, we were in the office.
And here it came right down Elm Street, a Waymo, and my blood ran cold. So I'm on the side of no.
Oh,
That's
my
just
God.
me. That's just me.
No. Not a fan.
I'm thumbs up.
Yeah.
Hayden, have you been in a Waymo yet?
No, I don't want to
I
be
know
in a
it's-
driverless car.
What? Yes, you do. They're cool.
Man,
I like them.
That's usually a sign that you're about to go over a cliff or something.
Usually, that's what I imagine.
Listen, I just don't want this to end up like weed or like our really old blue state laws with alcohol where like you have to go to Wisconsin to ride in a Waymo. That just seems silly.
You know what? I think that's actually how it should be. You want a Waymo? Go to Wisconsin. The alliteration alone sells the campaign.
Waymo, Wisconsin?
Yeah.
I don't see Wisconsin doing it before Minnesota, but, maybe I don't know my home state as well as I thought I did, but I doubt that.
I mean, when did we pass recreational marijuana? Passed in August of 2023, and you're just now able to go to dispensaries and buy weed, and it is March of 2026.
Yeah, listen. If you go together, but more slowly, we all arrive together. This isn't a sprint. These are all marathons.
So you just want to take the Waymo to the dispensary is what you're saying.
There it is.
Yep,
Okay.
got it.
Yep.
Hey, the owner of Valley Fair sold it and 6 other amusement parks across the U.S. and Canada for $331 million.
Whoa.
I know. Six Flags made the announcement yesterday with the new owner is already in place. So if you have a season pass, it's paid for. It'll still be honored for this season. And Valley Fair is still set to open May 9th for its 50th anniversary season.
Wow.
Dude, 50 years is crazy.
Yeah, I love it. Do you ever go to a Valley Fair, Steve?
I've not been yet.
It's a great time.
I'm an old man.
Take the kids.
I don't have little kids.
Yeah, you can take my kids.
Yes.
I'll take your kids.
I'll go chill out somewhere.
That'd be great.
Dude, you got to get on the wooden coaster.
I love
mean,
wooden coasters.
They're cool.
It's
Yeah.
great. A little rickety, but really fun.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe less so now with the new owners.
We'll see. Netflix will release a new season of Beef. This is the second season, but it'll feature entirely new characters. So it's going to be 2 couples in intense, life-destroying feuds. This season is set in and around a country club, so you'll have a younger couple who works at the country club. I didn't recognize either of these names, but it's Kaylee Spanny and Charles Melton. You guys know them?
Yeah, Charles Melton. He's in May December. That movie, that Todd Haynes. Yeah, not Todd Haynes. Yeah, Todd Haynes movie.
Okay.
He's a young kid. And Haley, I think she was in The White Lotus, wasn't she?
Don't know. Never heard
so.
of either one of these people.
The older couple will be Oscar Isaac and Carey Mulligan, and I love Carey Mulligan.
Carey Mulligan's great.
Yes.
Oscar Isaac?
He was in one of the Star Wars.
And Inside Llewyn Davis.
Oh,
right,
that too,
okay.
That too,
One of the
yes.
handsomest
Yes.
men.
Nice one,
going.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, okay.
This-
I liked Beef the first. It was fun. I thought it was pretty funny.
I loved Beef. I thought it was great. It was with Glenn from The Walking Dead. It's Steven Yen.
Yeah, Glenn. Just call him Glenn.
Glenn and Ali Wong. I
Yeah.
thought it was amazing. Series is going to drop April 16th. I will totally binge the crap out of this. And 8 states are going to get their first Buc-ee's gas station by the end of 2027, including Arizona, Arkansas, Louisiana, North Carolina, Ohio, Nebraska, and Wisconsin.
Wisconsin getting on the Buc-ee's train.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I don't know where in Wisconsin.
Have either of you been to a Buc-ee's?
No, tell me your favorite thing about Buc-ee's again.
Well, my favorite. It's you got to go at least once. I mean, because it's kind of astonishing. But every Buc-ee's has at least 124 gas pumps.
Is that
And some of them have 148, and one of them has 172. There is so much gas being pumped at a Buc-ee's, and it's the size of a Walmart. The Buc-ee's store is huge, and they don't allow trucks, so it's only cars and families. But the best thing, the one thing that sells it, and this is not trying to be funny, the bathrooms are amazing. They're amazing. They are. Every stall is really big. You can go in there and take a nap basically, and they clean them consistently. There's someone they're 247 spit shining their bathrooms, which makes when you're in the middle of a long road trip, and especially if you have kids in the car, Buc-ee's is your friend.
Can I just say though that I have brand loyalty regionally to the Quick Trip brand.
Okay.
So I'm feeling a little defensive. I don't normally align myself corporately unless they're paying me money, of course. But Quick Trip, don't touch Quick Trip here. I don't like the competition.
I feel the Quick Trip love. Yeah.
No, I get it. But Quick Trip is like that. It's like that nice slice of bread, and Buc-ee's is the whole damn loaf. Trust me.
But do you really want to sleep in the stall?
Well, I didn't say you had to.
How big the stalls are.
I didn't say you had to.
But that's your selling point. How big the stalls are.
How clean they are, and how there's and the gas. You can always get gas. It's trust me. It's look. I'm not one of those guys. I'm not going to walk around wearing a Buc-ee's shirt, and I don't necessarily go out of my way to go to one. But at least once you should check it out because it's unlike anything else you've seen.
They're trying to hype their smoked brisket too, but to Hyden's point, Quick Trip has great groceries.
Yeah, the food, the barbecue. I've had a couple different things at Buc-ee's. It's okay. It's not great, but the coffee's good. They do have incredible selections of coffee. All right, I'm done.
Noted.
Yeah, look at you. You're like
I'm just saying. I did
Bucky Gorman over here.
I've done a lot. I've spent a lot of time on these American roads, ladies and gentlemen, and I appreciate a good clean bathroom.
Bucky pilled.
Tonight in Las Vegas, the Minnesota Wild will drop the puck at 9 p.m. The Golden Knights are leading the Pacific Division, but they're a full 10 points behind the Wild because the Pacific Division kind of sucks.
Yeah.
The Minnesota Timberwolves last night, nice victory over Toronto at home. This is, 6-1 since the All-Star break, the Minnesota Timberwolves. And Houston lost last night to Golden State, which means we are now in third place in the West, which is outstanding. Ant had 22 points, only 12 shot attempts. He was just kind of letting the game come to him. Rudy with 18 points, 12 rebounds. Julius Randle, 17 and 8. Up and down the lineup, everybody playing well. Toronto's a very tough team, and especially a weird matchup for the Wolves. The last couple years, they've been a really difficult team for us. So it's great to get that win. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., the Orlando Magic come to town for the only time this season. Check it out. The Wolves looks like they're turning the screws a little bit and getting ready for a nice postseason run. Boys hockey yesterday, Minnetonka, Rosemount, Moorhead, Edina, all advanced. Again, it's all the same guys.
Yeah, go Spuds.
Gentry Academy, never heard of you. Sorry. Get on the wrong side of that Minnetonka team. On this day in the year 2000, the Lakers played the Clippers in L.A. They shared the arena. Back then, it was the Staples Center. It was Shaquille O'Neal's 28th birthday, and it was a Clippers home game. So he asked the Clippers if they would provide him with seats for his family and friends, and they said no. You got to buy your own tickets. So Shaq went out and scored 61 points and had 23 rebounds. It was the first 60-20 game in decades. And during the game, as they were blowing out the Clippers, he repeatedly looked at the Clippers bench and said, buy my tickets next time. Buy my tickets next time. And after the game said, don't ever make me pay for tickets. I don't care who you are.
Wow.
And so, on the road, other teams were like, yeah, probably not good to piss him off.
Well, that was like Donald Sterling era, right?
It sure was.
So that was like among the least horrible things that Donald Sterling has done.
It's actually on the list of good things he did. Hey, Cedar. Cedar makes your life easier. That's just not a slogan for a mop company. That's Cedar, Minnesota, baby.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. Daylight savings coming at you this Saturday night. As we've been discussing, a congressman from Florida has made a proposal. I'm not making this up. We talked about British Columbia, the westernmost province in Canada. They're like, hey, we're moving the clocks forward, and then we're never touching them again. Ryder gives them a 3-year window before they repeal that and go back.
Yeah, there was a reason that we did this shift, and they're going to move it back, especially that far north of the equator.
That's right. Well, a Florida congressman is suggesting this. Let's do half daylight saving. Permanently shift the clocks forward 30 minutes.
No, thanks.
Greg Steube, not Meryl Steubing. Greg Steube introduced this bill last month. It's called the Daylight Act of 2026. You'd split the difference. Keep some of the late day light that people like. Some of the winter mornings wouldn't be quite so dark. The problem here is we'd be 30 minutes off from the rest of planet Earth.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not true, actually. Afghanistan is off by 30 minutes. We would join Afghanistan in the 30 minutes off from the rest of the planet if this went ahead.
This is a very Florida man type idea.
It sure is.
Yeah, you should have maybe just workshopped this with like other shirtless guys in Florida.
How'd you come up with this idea? Well, we was out in the glades hunting them pythons, and I got a hold of one, and he was wrestling me, and he was a 12-footer, but they're stronger than you think, and suddenly it hit me. 30 minutes! Someone shoot this snake. I got to get back to Congress.
Yeah.
30 minutes ahead. I mean, this is honest to God legislation that's been proposed, and a whole bunch of staffers have to then do things with this.
Yes. This just feels like when you're fighting with your cousins about whether or not you're going to go to Pizza Hut or Domino's, and then Grandma says, "Screw it, we're just going to Denny's," and nobody gets what they want.
That's exactly what that sounds like, man. Yeah. Jeez.
I don't like this.
Yeah, I don't know. We're not sending our best and brightest to the halls of Congress.
No, we're not.
We're saying here.
And that's kind of been the way it's been since day one.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of scandalous things from my dad who lives in Florida about politics in Florida. So
yeah, no, it's a literal and figurative swamp down there. Remember, it's a place no one's supposed to live. Most of that state 200 years ago was completely inhabitable for humans. And then a bunch of guys from New York were like, we'll just say it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's basically how they developed it. Just build over those swamps. Who cares?
It's sort of like, Florida's like shaped like a drain. I think it is like the drain of America. You just tip America over.
Yeah.
And
sure.
A lot of the gunk kind of filters down to Florida.
That's
I like it.
It's exactly how I've always seen it. People say like, as a Southerner, I can tell you, Florida's not the South. Florida's Florida.
Yeah.
Leave them out of the South. Florida and Texas, even Louisiana, that's not the South. That's their own worlds. And Florida, you can keep it. Yeah. Except for Ryder's dad. We like him.
And I hear Miami's awesome. I haven't been to Miami. That seems incredible. I have been to Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
That was crazy. And North Florida is the belly of the beast.
It is.
I think they breed serial killers there.
Well,
that's what it feels like.
The reason people love Miami so much is because they've come through northern Florida to get there, and anything would be great once you get past that whole Gainesville-Jacksonville corollary.
Sure.
Heads up if you got a flight on United Airlines anytime soon. They've had enough of your nonsense. United Airlines has updated a policy. They have given themselves the right to kick your ass off a flight if you have any audio playing without headphones.
Oh, wow.
You don't bring headphones, you don't bring earbuds, the battery dies, and you think no one will mind? The airline minds, and they will run you. Here's a woman explaining a little bit about this.
It is about time. I think that we need to pack our manners whenever we go on an airplane, whenever we travel. And the violators of this, ironically, are parents who don't put earbuds in their children's ear or headsets. So I see it all the time when I fly.
That is an etiquette expert, so we should be paying attention.
Well, pack those manners.
I support this 100%.
I do too.
And I actually think they should go to jail for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe not the death penalty, but the thing like where people just listen to stuff on their phone like without headphones, like in public.
It's incredible.
It's like, what are we doing here? Do we not realize that we're not in our homes, that we're not on the internet? You're in public and there's people around you.
Allow me to ride on my high horse for a minute. When I see something and I don't have headphones available or not on, and I need to, like if it's a reel or someone sends me a tweet, like look at this video or whatever it is,
yeah,
I will watch it with the sound off, and then I will put the sound up just a little bit and hold the phone right to my ear because I can listen after I know what I'm watching or whatever. There's ways around this. I see it. Rosemary and I yesterday were at Straw Dog around the corner.
Cool. Okay.
And in the booth next to us, someone's just playing like Instagram reels loudly. And the waitress actually came over and was like, "Hey, you mind?" And it was like just yesterday. I'm like, and that's a bar. You can at least get up and change tables. If you're on a plane, if the person sitting next to you is blasting any noise at all for a minute, it's like, what is? I can't believe the volume of phone calls. That's actually the one that happens more often. The second the plane lands and someone's like, "Hey, I just touched down." It's like, you can text all of this. You don't need to be on your phone immediately.
I know. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, why are we talking on phones anyway at this point? Let's be real.
Pretty much.
I mean, come on.
Hyden wins today. I love that.
But yeah, I mean, the Instagram reel thing, like, no one's ever had an emergency Instagram reel. Like, I need to hear this right now. This is an emergency. This stupid cat wearing a hat on Instagram. I need to watch this.
I get looking for a laugh, but to your point, you're right. It's not an emergency. The laugh can wait.
Yeah.
It's one thing, someone calls you and they're saying, "Oh, your mother's in the hospital." Then I'm like, okay, I understand.
Right.
You might need to have the volume up, but come on.
Well, but if they want you to pay attention to the message, maybe they have to put it in an Instagram reel. "Hey, bud, your mom's in the hospital." They DM you on Instagram.
No one picks up their phone anymore to talk on the phone, but they will pick it up for the Instagram reel. So I like the smuggling in
100%
vital information in there.
What's your travel pet peeve? If it's not headphones, if it's not a lack of headphones, what is it? Wally's pet peeve for travel on the Luther Westside Volkswagen Talk and Text line. "My travel pet peeve is the people that treat their seat assignment as though it were a private room. We can see you. Put your shoes and socks back on. You can trim your nails when you arrive."
Ooh, my
I've seen a lot of bare feet. I've never seen anyone clipping the nails.
That
blanket over your lap isn't covering the heavy petting you're doing either. Wow. But it does cover all the gas. I will say that. I mean, on some of those international flights, man, you're like, "Hey, do you have a blanket by any chance?" Trying not to be rude to my fellow passengers.
I'm with Wally. When did we decide trimming your nails was an on-the-go activity?
I can't imagine. It is not at all.
Do that at home.
My favorite travel thing ever, it's not a pet peeve, it's I thought it was, and it's flipped, and I'm very quickly. On a Southwest flight, I'm on the window, there's no one in the middle, and the girl on the aisle next to me, on my aisle seat, she's like a college kid. And as the flight attendants, it's late in the boarding process, and they're like, "Just grab any seat you can." She said, "The flight's almost full. We're very, very close to total capacity." So there were going to be a few empty seats, and we were close to the front of the plane. And every person coming down the aisle, this girl, walking down the aisle looking for a seat, the girl in my row on the aisle seat would look up and make eye contact and smile and point, like, "Sit here. You want to sit here?" And I'm watching her going, "What are you doing?"
Oh.
And I mean, like, big Cheshire cat grin, pointing, like, very, very animated.
Yeah.
"Sit here. Do you want to sit here? Do you want to sit here? Do you want to sit here?"
Yeah, like I'm looking for a new friend on this flight.
The door shut. Nobody took the seat. And she looks over at me and goes, "It works every time."
Yeah.
And I've never, I was like, I have such a crush on you right now. She was like, she goes, my mom does that every time. She goes, it's awesome. And I said, "I am in awe of you and your mother." And then we never said another word to each other the whole flight. It was perfect.
That's like a Kaiser Soze type.
It really
twist
was.
to that story.
It was incredible.
She's like a mad genius.
And this is like 20 years ago. And that girl turned out to be DHS Secretary Christino. No, that's not true.
No.
All right, we got headlines in 5 minutes and 2 songs.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Happy Friday morning. It is March the 6th. Steven Hyden sitting in for a couple hours. Fletcher's got hockey duty. Ryder is providing us all with a little insight into what's happening in the world.
Yeah, I feel like this is the true sign of spring. Road closure in the South Metro this weekend. 494 going to be closed in both directions between 35W and Cedar Avenue, 10 o'clock tonight until 5 a.m. Monday morning. MnDOT's going to demolish the 12th Avenue Bridge there. I feel like MnDOT has sniffed spring, and they've decided to just go with all these projects here.
I am so happy after 3 years that now when you give these updates, I actually know what you're talking about. My first few months, there was all these road closures and construction, and I would be like, I'm staring at the map on the wall. I wonder where that is. This is great knowing where I'm going now.
Hey, new Bob Dylan exhibit will open at the Bob Dylan Center, which is in Tulsa. That still kind of bugs me. It's called the Thin Wild Mercury Dylan 1966, exploring the year after he went electric, and will feature never-before-seen manuscripts, photos, and restored film footage. Man, it just bugs me that, like, he doesn't love us as much as we love him. The whole Bob Dylan thing.
Well, I don't know if it's his choice. I feel like Tulsa might... Well, actually, it was his choice to put it there. Mm-hmm. I've been to the Bob Dylan Center in Tulsa.
I was going to ask.
It's very cool.
I figured you would have gone.
You can go there and you can see the contents of Bob Dylan's wallet from 1966, and there's a card like with Lenny Bruce's phone number on it.
Well, that's pretty good.
Cool.
I mean, it's
pretty good. Yeah.
If you're a Dylan nerd like me, it's incredible ephemera there.
Great.
But shouldn't it be like Paisley Park, and is it within driving distance of where we are right now?
You'd think.
I don't, especially because we're like...
Hell, put it in Hibbing. It's fine, too. Just put it in Minnesota.
Put it in Dinkytown. Everybody'd go
Even
nuts
better.
for it. Okay.
Even better.
He's a contrarian guy. What can you say? You know?
New documentary on SNL's Lorne Michaels is going to hit theaters next month. It'll be directed by Morgan Neville, who did 20 Feet from Stardom and Man on the Run, that new McCartney one. It's going to feature interviews with Lorne Michaels, current and former SNL cast members, writers, host, all that stuff, in theaters April 17th. I watched the trailer. I don't know. It just looks like a talking head deal.
I don't know. I've been waiting for someone to finally make a movie about SNL. Finally, we can get a behind-the-scenes view. I mean, look, they just had the 50th anniversary. I think there were literally like 3 or 4 or 5 documentaries that were on Hulu
it was
corresponding with that.
There was it was Peacock. It was just, they had hours and hours and hours of documentaries about the show.
Yeah.
We did, the Black Crowes did SNL twice, and the first time we did it was in the spring of 91, and that was year 16 or 17, whatever that would be, 16. And at the time, all we were saying is, I can't believe the show is still on TV. It just because I had been with it since I was 10, you know.
And that was the prime, as far as I'm concerned. That's like Dana Carvey and Mike Myers. Phil Hartman.
we were bemoaning how far it had fallen in 1991. Yeah. And then we did it in 91 and 92, and it was the 2 unfunniest episodes in the show's history. We were like, man, we got the worst episodes.
You might have a lot of competition for that, distinction.
No, since then I would say so, but at the time, but the idea that a show would be on for approaching 20 years made no sense, and now it's 50 seasons of that nonsense. Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with Lorne Michaels, I'm half his age, and I don't like to stay up past midnight. I can't imagine being like 83 or whatever he is.
He's Bear Bryant. The minute he retires, he's just not going to wake up. He's got to stay. He'll stay alive as long as he's got that gig.
He'll be eating like a bowl of popcorn in his office.
That's it. That's what he does.
Keel over.
Mm-hmm. And hey, least surprising news ever. The best day for happy hours happens to be Friday.
Sure.
As voted on by normal people, Gen Z says they want to do happy hour on a Saturday. No, that's not what it is.
What?
Yeah. And they also say they want to drink at home. This is not happy hour. This is just drinking.
It's just called Saturday. Yeah. You don't have a happy hour on Saturday. What's the point?
Well, I feel like bars, do they do happy hour on Friday? Because they know people are going to be there. I always feel like the good drink deals are on like a Tuesday or a Monday.
I feel like I'm with you. They're generally
for the real drunks
Sunday through Wednesday because they know nobody wants to go out.
The kids these days, good for their long-term health, but boy, they got drinking all wrong.
I know.
I was telling my kids not that long ago, I was reminding them that when I was in college, there'd be, they'd have like bladder bust night at a bar.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
when I was in college, too.
Free draft beer until someone has to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's like they're looking at me like, what? I'm like, oh yeah, they had there was drink and drown night, well drinks for $4 cover, drink all night. My kids are like, you lived in a golden time. I'm like, yeah, the 80s were kind of unregulated where that stuff's concerned. What could go wrong? Everything, and it did on a regular basis.
I was gonna say a lot of accidents back then because of that kind of behavior.
All kinds of accidents. The Minnesota Wild are in Vegas. They will drop the puck at 9 p.m. The Golden Knights, as always, a tough team, and certainly on the road. The Wild have been, playing really good hockey as of late. I'm, of course, hoping they continue that run. The Timberwolves, speaking of good play, they're 6-1 since the All-Star break. Last night, a very nice win over the Toronto Raptors, a team that we match up poorly with. It's a tough matchup for a variety of reasons. But boy, the whole team was involved. Ant only had 22 points, but he only took 12 shots. He was just very patiently letting things come to him.
Efficient.
Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert, Io, everybody that was on the court in the parts of the game I was watching, it just looked like we have our offense humming right now, and the defensive intensity was there. It's a good little run. They've got a home game tomorrow afternoon with the Orlando Magic, and then they're on the road for 4 out west. So all of these wins matter so much for the next month and a half until the playoffs start. North Oaks, I would like to just say, what's up, North Oaks?
Damn Skippy.
Our friends
North
at the
Oaks.
Gorman Center for Fine Dentistry, thinking of you this morning. Mm-hmm. Good people out there.
You got North Oaks. Is there a South Oaks or just an Oaks? Or just North?
I think it's Oaks over in Europe somewhere.
There you go.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense. Let's talk about rock lyrics. Some of the worst ones ever, whatever you think they are. The song we just heard, "Pride in the Name of Love." There's not a bad lyric, but there's a mistake.
Yeah.
Because Google didn't exist in 1984. Martin Luther King Jr. was shot at like 6 p.m., not early morning. It was early morning somewhere, but not in Memphis, Tennessee. And, of course, Bono, at some point, like the record was probably like 2 days after it was released, someone's like, it was 6 p.m. And he was like, no! Someone has to invent something called Google.
It would have been early morning, April 5th in Ireland.
That's a good point.
So, because it's like 6 hours. So it would have been maybe like midnight, 1 in the morning in Ireland.
That's a good point.
But then it would have been April 5th.
Then he got the day wrong.
Yeah.
Damn. But that's okay. We're gonna give him a pass on that one. But what about just lyrics? Even a song you might like or band you might like. What's a lyric that always just you go, oh God, that's awful. There's so many great ones, and the all-time leader, the pole position song to me. Sammy Hagar, nicest man in the world, but he's responsible for the all-time head scratcher. Why Can't This Be Love by Van Halen? The line, only time will tell if we stand the test of time.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I heard that, I go, what did he just say? What?
But he's right, though.
He's right. But
Time
it's like,
will tell
wow.
if we stand the test of time. You're right, Sammy.
I mean, I get letting the muse lead you. The words come out. Yeah. Sometimes you don't fight them. I mean, Steven Tyler always said he had that melody, and one day he just blurted out, Janie's got a gun. And then he went, who's Janie? Why does she have a gun? But he couldn't change it. He's like, I have to now write a song about why does Janie, because he's like, you just don't mess with it. The words needed to be there. Sure. And it's like, I can't argue with that. I mean, it worked out well.
Not even the worst lyric on that album.
It's nowhere near the
elevator.
It's nowhere near the worst lyric on that elevator, that album.
One of my favorite, I don't even want to call it a bad lyric, but it's a head-scratching lyric, is from Honky Tonk Women, when Mick Jagger sings, she blew my nose, and then she blew my mind.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess is that like a euphemism for something? I don't really know. But like just the idea of you have a cold.
I assumed it was a euphemism for giving him some cocaine.
That's what I thought.
But he's the only person that has ever said blowing his nose is a euphemism for cocaine, because most people it's just you got a cold.
You can say anything when you say it, like, as long as you throw the Mick on there, it doesn't really matter what you say. By the way, I've always said the most underrated great lyricist in rock history. No one talks about how
Jagger.
Great his lyrics really are. He's so busy being Mick and doing all the that you're like, and then you read those lyrics sometimes and you're like, I mean, all that stuff.
I mean, Sympathy for the Devil
incredible.
Has amazing lyrics.
It's one of the great all-timers. On the Facebook page, Ryder, we got a few submissions.
Oh, yeah. Paul Westerberg, great lyricist, dyslexic heart, though. And the line is, well, my heart could use some glasses. Wally says, glasses don't fix dyslexia. No, they don't. That is not how that works.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's true, I guess.
And then Rochelle says, Maxwell's silver hammer came down upon her head. Maxwell's silver hammer made sure that she was dead. Love the Beatles. Beatles, but that phrase just gives me the willies. And she is not wrong.
Well, that song gave the rest of the Beatles the willies.
Yeah.
They still, Ringo's still sitting around thinking about, we wasted 3 days on that one.
Well, one of my favorite parts of Get Back, that huge Beatles documentary, is them working on that song.
Yeah.
And you can see the Beatles, how
seething.
just bored they are with this song, and McCartney won't let it go.
Yeah, no, he is a dog on a piece of meat when he thinks something's good.
It's like that and Obla Di Obla Da, I think were the two bugaboos.
Those were the
late period
ones.
Beatles.
The band Yes. Remember Yes? The 70s Yes, when they were prog rockers. Not Owner of the Lonely Heart Yes, but old days. Roundabout Yes. A Gorman family staple. My brother Tom played that album every day for a year in my house. Mountains come out of the sky and they stand there.
Yeah.
What?
That's when you're just super baked.
And they stand there. And they put the high harmony Spinal Tap vocals on it too.
Oh yeah. That's very prog. I mean, prog rock deserves its own wing of this conversation. You could just pick on prog rock lyrics all day long.
That's very true. My dad, my dad, who is a Detroit native, was the first of many people to point this out to me. We were just in the car one day, and Journey's "Don't Stop Believin'" is a huge hit.
Yeah.
And my dad literally just turns the radio down and goes, "Born and raised in South Detroit, there's no such thing. South Detroit is called Windsor, Canada. Look at a map." And I was like, and he wasn't saying it to be funny. He was legitimately angered by that lyric.
Yeah.
You know how if you never looked at Detroit, there's no such thing. You go south to cross the border. I mean, he was just beside himself.
I think everybody from Michigan was.
Yeah, it's like, it's a lyric from a guy from L.A. Relax.
Yeah.
It's like this. I talked about my son's working on a show on HBO, DTF St. Louis.
Yes.
That's now, and the St. Louis media, people in St. Louis are furious because the show wasn't filmed there. It's like a thing. Like if you Google reviews, the St. Louis, anybody that's writing or talking about it from there is like, of course they had to make. They're very offended that a show that takes place in St. Louis wasn't shot in St. Louis. And I did see an interview with the creator of the show who said, "Wait till they see Star Trek."
But, everyone is like that. I think if there's a thing set in their town, I mean, people here, I think, still get upset about Fargo and the accents in that movie. And that's not, people don't you know we don't talk like that, Right. Like, it's like, yeah, we do. It's a little bit exaggerated, but
Sure.
Just chill. Just be glad that they're talking about you in a major media
I love nothing more than I've told this story before. Gary Loris, my buddy from the Jayhawks, said to me a few months after Fargo came out, I said, "Did you see Fargo? How great was that?" He goes, "I don't know." He did that thing. He goes, it's like everyone thinks we talk like that. And I was like, "Gee, as a man from the South, I can't imagine what it would be like for Hollywood to put a little lipstick on that pig. Because everybody talks like this. Every racist character you ever saw was a Southerner."
Deliverance was a documentary.
It's exactly, well, that actually is true. All right, let's discuss worst rock lyrics ever. If you want to hit us up on the Facebook page, feel free. The Jeff in Maple Grove on the Luther Westside Volkswagen talk and text line. Bon Jovi, "I'll be there for you. These 5 words I swear to you. When you breathe, I want to be the air for you." My beef with that was always, I interviewed Richie Sambora on my old sports show a couple times. And one time I said, "Hey, I'll be there for you. Does the contraction count for 2 words? Because that's actually 6 words." And he literally was like, I was just joking around. And he went, "Oh, no. Oh, my God. We wrote these 5 words, I swear to you." I said, "Yeah, it's supposed to be 6. And he was like, "Oh, wait, really? Is that how that works?" I go, "I don't know, man. I'm just messing with you." But he was...
That's hilarious.
I put him on his back heel for a minute. I felt bad.
That Bon Jovi lyric I honestly do not like is in "It's My Life," that song where he says, "My life is like an open highway. Like Frankie said, I did it my way." How he calls Sinatra
Frankie.
Oh,
not
boy.
a fan of that.
A horse with no name, America. "In the desert, you can remember your name, for there ain't no one for to give you no pain."
Ooh, I heard from somebody on the text line too and said the heat was hot.
Yes, that's
it's
the
not
bad
their
one.
favorite one.
The heat was hot.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was.
It was, yeah. It's just like the Sammy lyric.
That's it. That's pretty good. Text going with that one as well. The U2 song. Uno, dos, catorce, or
Uno,
whatever.
dos, tres,
Vertigo.
catorce.
Catorce,
Yeah,
yeah.
so you're going 1, 2, 3, 14.
I think that was on purpose, though.
Oh, sure it was. I would imagine that was the case.
Bono was being funny. Bono's not always the funniest guy. It's kind of hard to know when he's joking.
That's very true. We're making fun of lyrics, but we all know every one of them. Yeah. So the point remains. Yeah, what do we know? We're not writing banger hit songs every day.
I mean, like a memorable bad lyric, I think is better than like a forgettable competent lyric. You know, like a lyric that is so bizarre
that's true.
that it sticks in your brain, to me, is better than just a bland love song, stating things you've heard a million times.
Steve Miller and the Pompatus of Love.
There you go.
What the hell does that mean, man?
That's a perfect one right there.
It means there's a Pompatus, and he's that of love. That's what that means. Whatever a Pompatus is.
Steven Hyden, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you in this week, brother.
Well, it's always a pleasure to hang out with you, too.
The chair's always there. Come back anytime. Thank you.
I'm taking the chair with me, actually, so it's not always here. But
Hyden, you got anything you want to plug or hype or let people know about?
Yeah, you can read my writing at Evil Speakers. It's my Substack newsletter. Please check that out. If you don't like the sound of my voice, but you like what I said, you can read what I say there.
It's a great read, Evil Speakers, the Substack. Is there anything else you can share? You got any books in the hopper? Have you got?
I do, but not for a while.
Okay.
I have a book coming out in September.
Okay. Can you tell us what it's about?
Yeah, it's about the Strokes, and it's about rock bands in the 21st century.
Okay.
And how bands are kind of hard to come by these days.
Yes,
and why
they are.
that is.
All right.
I'll be reading that, dude.
Yeah.
You and Noel Gallagher have a lot of thoughts on that issue.
Yes. Oasis makes a cameo in my book.
Nice.
So
excellent.
Fair enough. It's always a pleasure, brother. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
We're back. Lisa Miller's going to come in and hang out for a bit.
Yeah.
So how awesome is that? We're gonna get it up and running. Give us about 5 minutes and 2 songs.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Good Friday morning. It is March 6th, and I'm in a good mood because Lisa Miller's in studio.
Gorman, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Lisa. It's great to have you on this station.
Oh, yeah. Slow news day. Let's get Lisa in.
So early. Look at you. Oh, you're a ray of sunshine.
I'm a morning person, so this is...
All right, well, perfect then.
Yeah.
Game on.
Now you tell me.
Game on.
3 years later, I finally cracked the code.
Yeah.
All right, Ryder, let's get into it. We need some headlines.
Kristi Noem is no longer the Homeland Security Secretary. President Trump made the announcement yesterday via a post on Truth Social. Noem has faced criticism over her conduct as the head of DHS, ranging from her handling of fatal shootings involving federal agents in Minneapolis to high-priced ad campaigns featuring her. And Trump nominated close ally Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin to fill the vacancy.
I've never been fired over social media, but I did have a boss once come in to me and say, hey, I need you to quit today. And I said, why? He goes, because I really don't want to fire you. And I said, okay, I quit. He goes, thanks, man.
Okay. Easy enough.
Yeah.
Waymo cars are popping up in Minnesota, and while these vehicles are operating with human drivers as they map streets, Minnesota lawmakers know they're racing to make a decision on driverless vehicles. 2 proposals have emerged at the Capitol, one that explicitly allows autonomous vehicles in the state, another that would ban driverless cars until an advisory board could study their impact and create a permitting process. I'm all in on Waymos.
I remember very clearly the first time I saw like a Google Maps car.
Yeah.
You know, what,
With the big
15,
ball
20
on it?
years ago,
Yeah.
whatever that was. And at the time thinking, because this is what I always think every time something new happens, this is it, right? We're not going any further. Like if you had told me that day there'll be driverless cars one day, I would have said that's not possible. It's like I'm the worst about technology. I always think, okay, that's enough. We're done, right? We're not going any further. And so I was freaked out by a Google Maps car that a human was driving, but it was just taking shots of everything. And now the other day, we saw a Waymo right here on Elm Street just cruising down.
Were there cameras on it? Because I saw it too on Elm, and I thought it was a Google car, but no, it was a
Waymo. Those things have, I mean, how many cameras on a Waymo? It's like 108. They're everywhere. The whole car is a camera.
Number. Yeah. And they just keep rotating. Yeah, I'm in on this.
I know you are.
I'm in on this one, too. Netflix will release a new season of Beef. The second season will feature 2 couples in intense, life-destroying feuds. It'll be set in and around a country club, focusing on a couple of younger employees who work there, and then their boss and his wife, Oscar Isaac of the most recent Star Wars movies, and Carey Mulligan, who I think is great in freaking everything.
She is.
Season's going to drop April 16th. I'll watch that in like one day, probably.
Beef was. We watched it, and it was the some of it you can poke holes or that's a little over,
Sure.
but the tone, something about it still kept us there. Like we really enjoyed it. We just, whatever there was about it that you might otherwise go, okay, that's too dumb. This one just kept it all right on the tracks just enough.
Yeah.
It was really good. And the performances were great. That was the main thing. Everybody in it was great.
Yeah. That last half a millisecond just made my heart explode when the show got done. It was so good.
It is good.
So, yeah. Lisa, get in on beef, dude. It's great.
I was thinking, is it a reality show?
No,
I don't like people fighting.
Oh, well, you don't want to watch beef.
Yeah, well,
it's
live fights. There are a lot of fights in life. So
it's pretty funny. It's funny and very dark. Let's talk sports. The Minnesota Wild are in Las Vegas to play the Golden Knights. Puck drop at 9 p.m. Wild are playing some really good hockey lately. So, hey, if you got nothing else going on tonight, check it out. The Timberwolves last night with a win over the Raptors at home, 115-107. That's a really good win over a team that generally is a tough matchup for the Timberwolves. Houston Rockets last night lost at Golden State. The reason that's significant is that means we are now in third place in the West.
There we go.
That is spectacular. The Wolves are 6-1 since the All-Star break, playing very, very good basketball. 3-game homestand ends tomorrow, Saturday, 2 p.m. At home against the Magic, and then they're out west for 4 games. So tomorrow, as is just like these last 2 games at home, very important to get a win because this road trip we're about to go on is going to be tough. The boys hockey tournament rolls along. Yesterday, your winners, Minnetonka, Rosemount, Moorhead, and Edina.
There we go.
It's all it's amazing. It's the same names every year.
Yeah.
Go figure. Hammond, not the organ.
No.
Not Hammond egg sandwich. Hammond, Minnesota.
Almost as cool as the organ, or maybe cooler.
Almost as cool.
Yeah.
Or John Hammond Jr. We all know. Hammond, glad to have you with us. Lisa Miller is in studio hanging out for a couple of hours. It's very, very nice to have you.
Always nice. When you're in the building, I find you because I always love talking to you. So
I know.
I was sad the mic's on. I thought, we're just I can't swear. I got to be careful.
That's right.
I got that dump button, Lisa. I got you.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
a few minutes ago, we heard Barracuda from Heart. Heart was my first concert.
Wow.
In 1978. I was 13 years old, and that's the first gig I ever saw. And so the question is, what was your first rock concert?
Oh, gosh. The Allman Brothers Band in Lincoln,
cool.
Nebraska.
Really?
Yeah. And
Not
my
bad.
dad did not want me to go, and I told him I'm going to smoke pot, and I'm going to go.
Wow.
I was just trying to be independent.
Sure you were.
And he said, you cannot go. And I snuck out and went.
Your dad said you can't go, and you doubled down by saying, yes, I can, and I'm going to get stoned. Holy.
Yes.
I love it.
A career in rock radio was right around the corner.
Yeah, it's been an adventure.
That is awesome, man. That's pretty good. So how soon, when did you start? What's the first radio gig then?
Well, KLOS in Los Angeles as an intern. I won.
Boy, that's big time.
That's massive.
That's a
I
station
won.
everybody knows.
Yes, I won a contest to be in the Styx Mr. Roboto video. So
Oh, so cool.
Wait, what?
Yes, I had just moved to LA or to Long Beach. I'd lived in California and then we moved a lot. Moved a ton in my life. So I went back to LA to live with a friend, and I'm unpacking, and KLOS has this contest to be in a music video. And so put everything down. I called for an hour and a half.
Okay.
And now that I know, contest, if it's caller 9, it's 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But I kept calling, and I finally got through, and I told the guy, really nice, I really wanted this. My friend's a big Tommy Shaw fan. And so he erased somebody and put me in. So...
Wow.
That was how I started as an intern there with Steve Downs and Joe Benson and Rita Wild and, Mark and Brian.
I would have to imagine at that time, so that's early, mid-'80s.
Yeah, yep.
KLOS was just a monster. I mean, it still is, but then with rock music, good gracious.
Southern California's rock station.
That was it.
And I was on the Cool Patrol, So then I saw the DJs, and they were nothing special, as in, like, pretty, or they had a good gig.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, how do you do that? I'm going to go do that.
Yeah.
So.
I had that just reminded me, and sometime in the 90s, Black Crowes were playing in Washington, D.C., and I'm out on the bus before the show, and my brother brought his son, my nephew, who was like 12.
Yeah.
They came out in the bus and we're sitting there. And then our tour manager brought a local DJ onto the bus to say hi, a guy I'd met before. And let's just say his name was The Growler. He's The Growler, whatever. He's one of those guys.
Yeah.
And he sat down and he goes, hey, I'm Mike. And I introduced him to my brother and then my nephew, Brian. And Brian's like, oh, and he started talking, and my nephew looked at him and goes, wait, you sound like the Growler. And he goes, oh, I am the Growler. And my nephew, being a young, he goes, you're the Growler? Like, his disappointment was, and the guy goes, oh, come on, kid. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry. But it was one of those, like, it just, you think people in the radio, they're all, you just picture George
25
Clooney.
and hot.
Yeah, it's like, wow. And he goes, you're the Growler? I was like, oh, man, that's tough.
Yeah.
These things happen. Lisa Miller, a rock and roll maven. Let's talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay, I can only talk as a fan, but I have opinions.
Sure. No, that's what you're here for.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, when you saw this year's nominees, was there a pleasant or unpleasant surprise? Were you like, what the, or thank God finally? What was the initial, if you remember, initial reactions?
Okay, I just have to say this year and every year, I have a visceral reaction when I see somebody listed.
Yeah.
So finally, I went back to look at where did they even start from? Why is it even called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Okay.
It's just it's a bad name.
At this point, it's becoming a bad name.
Yeah, but so they started in the 80s, and I mean, two record execs and a lawyer and the guy from Rolling Stone. I mean, that's like a bad joke, I mean, seriously.
Sure.
And so the first ones that were inducted were, Sam and Dave, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, James Brown, Elvis Presley. So that was the direction,
Sure.
Ray Charles, Sam Cooke. So yeah, it wasn't rock.
Right.
They just named it wrong. They took it from Alan Freed,
Yep.
who coined the phrase rock and roll.
Yep.
So it's just wrong. But they wanted to do it.
Testify.
They wanted to do it as
Yeah.
like the Sports Hall of Fame, which you know about. Like, how many nominees are there in the Sports Hall of Fame? Do you know? Is it like this? As screwed up as this is?
Every league's very different. Like the Basketball Hall of Fame, it's not the NBA Hall of Fame. It's the Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts. So you have international players most people have never heard of.
Okay.
It's men, it's women, it's all over the place. And the bar of entry is not anything like Major League Baseball or the NFL. It's way more people get in. So that's just the way they've done it. It's for the sport, not the league. The Pro Football Hall of Fame here, that's just the NFL. And, every year, some years it's 3 people, some years it's 5 or 6 max.
Yeah.
And then, of course, baseball, some years nobody gets in. There have been years where they're like, nope.
Really?
Nobody got enough votes.
Wow.
Yeah, baseball's real cranky.
Yeah.
They make you earn it big time. But the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I mean, at this stage of the game, if you don't want to completely dismantle the whole joint, to your point, just come up with a better name that speaks for what it is. Is it the Rock and Roll and Pop Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Is it the Rock and Roll World Music Hall of Fame? There's something. The Music Hall of Fame. I don't know, something.
They said they wanted to honor influential musicians who shaped rock and popular music.
Sure.
Okay, well then name it accordingly. But to your point, this year when I looked at it, I was thrilled for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, you worked hard with the Black Crowes. You guys came from nothing, and I was happy to see Jeff Buckley, just because I saw the documentary. I wasn't a big follower of his music.
Right.
But he won't get my fan vote just because there's too many other people in there. But so, I'm down the hall at Love 105 and down the dial. So I have come to appreciate bands or artists that I never, ever, I was closed-minded. So that's what I realized about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees, that I'm myopic. When somebody I want is in, I'm like, all right, they're good this year.
Of course,
finally, Foreigner. Even though I'm not a huge Foreigner fan, they deserve to be in.
It was crazy that it took that long.
Right.
I mean, the ultimate crazy thing to me is Kiss.
Yeah.
It's called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They are one of the by fame, I mean, that's the global. Every child on planet Earth at some point is a member of the Kiss Army, either literally or at least in their own mind. Everyone has a Kiss phase. They had 50 years of being those guys, and they weren't inducted until like 10 years ago or something.
Right.
It was just, there's always those.
Or something.
It's just weird. It's like, okay, I mean, I'm not, and it's the thing is like, I don't listen to Kiss records. I don't care about Kiss. but you can't tell the story of rock music without, and then this band showed up in New York and they're wearing 6-inch heels and fake paint in their faces, and this guy breathed fire and then he spit blood. It's like Kiss matters. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's crazy. And to your point, Jan Wenner, or you mentioned the Rolling Stone guy.
That was him, but I don't know how to say his name.
Notorious gatekeeper of hip. It's like, you're the worst. You're the guy that divides music into genres and makes people think this isn't cool and that is. It's ridiculous.
Right. But if you've looked at the website, so this is really just a marketing vehicle for record labels, but it's so good now. Like, I looked at your site, your great picture view. So when you go on, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame website, you can look at the nominees.
Okay.
And then they click you through to the history of the band. And then they click you to merchandise. So then you can see the T-shirts and the CDs and the albums. So I'm like, I get it from someone who appreciates a good marketing plan. That's good.
Sure.
But, and I love the museum. The museum's a wonderful idea. How about we let more people in?
Yeah.
But to the point of a lot of musicians who didn't get in, the Songwriters Hall of Fame is legit and
Songwriters Hall of Fame. It's a very different thing.
Yeah. So
I know, my bandmate and Howl, Mike Mills, when REM went into the Songwriters Hall of Fame a couple years ago, and I was congrats. And the first time we talked about it, I mean, he was genuinely like, this is the greatest thing that ever happened to us. Like,
really?
All the Grammys, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that's all nice. But for the members of REM, he said, this is the Songwriters Hall of Fame is like, that's the whole point. It's like being recognized for that. That's the entirety. I mean, the way he described it was like, oh, wow, that really... Yeah, that's still the one.
It is the one.
And they don't let a lot of people in. No, very small event.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So what do you think about Oasis? That's another rock band that's on the list. Not a fan?
Love the music. I'm the story person. I love a good story behind a band, and I don't like their story.
Okay.
So I like their music, but I just think they could wait.
Right.
Let's step aside for Phil Collins. The guy deserves to be in.
How has he never been nominated before? That's the most astounding thing to me.
Yeah.
The new McCartney documentary on Amazon, Man on the Run, going back to Jan Wenner really quickly, and this speaks to the Phil Collins thing too, because Phil Collins was never hip.
Right.
Like when he started writing pop hits, it was kind of like, and people still to this day, you see a Facebook reel once a week. He's dressed like an accountant on stage. It's like he was just never trying to be cool. Jan Wenner loved John Lennon and therefore was down on McCartney, like very, very blatantly and openly. And they put John Lennon in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1994, and he asked Paul McCartney to induct him. And Paul said, sure. And then Paul's like, I'm I'm happy John's going in, but what about me?
Yeah.
And Jan Wenner said, well, we don't want to do you guys together. Like, you deserve your own year. You induct John and we'll put you in next year. And then he made him wait 5 years after saying, do it. So he made a deal. And McCartney's like, he's Paul McCartney. It's like, what are you doing? So behind the scenes, but at least Jan Wenner's gone now.
Yeah,
and I think they're, apparently it's not quite so much one guy putting his thumb on the scale as much.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a little.
That's a flex. Making Paul McCartney wait 5 years.
Well, if you remember when McCartney went in, his daughter Stella was wearing a shirt that said "About effing time." That's what her shirt was when she was on stage with him. Like, okay, bam. Green Day's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's no surprise. They went in right away as soon as they were eligible, if memory serves. Incredibly successful artist Pink is on the nominee list this year. Lisa Miller.
Yes. Okay.
Thoughts on Pink?
Okay. So as I've said, down the dial, down the hall, I've been on Love 105, and I'm starting to appreciate Pink.
Sure.
She was just not on my radar.
Yeah.
As again,
myopic.
I liked what I liked, and I didn't venture out much more because this was my world.
Sure.
So. And knowing what I know now that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is just poorly named.
Yeah. Poorly named.
It just is.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to acknowledge all these musicians.
What do you think? Do you have an idea for what it could be named? It should be named. I mean, it's. I think just the Music Hall of Fame, or not the American Music Hall, but the Popular Music Hall of Fame, or something. I don't know at this stage, because you've also got Shakira, you got Sade, you've got Mariah Carey. All of these artists are just massively successful, and hugely impactful in their own ways.
Right.
But again, it's like, they're in the same place as the Ramones.
Yeah.
Really?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so Green Day got in the first year. So did Foo Fighters.
Sure they did.
So did Pearl Jam.
Yep.
And then so did Nirvana. So Dave Grohl got in.
He's in twice. Sure.
In the first year, his bands became eligible.
Right.
He's just amazing. But, yeah, so, Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
I just, my voting is, I love Billy Idol. He can keep that shirt unbuttoned.
Yeah,
until he's 80, as
always
far as
works.
I'm concerned. It always works.
I don't think you have to tell him twice.
No, but you know what? He's an avid reader. His book is really good.
Oh, is it?
Dancing with Myself. Uh-huh. Yeah, he wrote it with a friend.
Right.
But yeah, he's an avid reader, and people who read a lot write well. And I think he's.
Fair enough.
So for that alone.
All right, there's a vote for Billy.
Billy. I saw him several years ago at the Myth, and I think he did like 6 costume changes.
Yes.
He just kept putting clothes on to take them off.
Yeah.
It was pretty spectacular.
I saw a thing online like last year or the year before, and Steve Stevens is still with his guitarist from day one. That's in itself a pretty great accomplishment. But they were just doing a radio gig somewhere, and it was an acoustic set, and it was great.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, first of all, I don't think about acoustic guitars when I think of Billy Idol, but Steve Stevens can play anything, and Billy sounded great. I think he sings actually technically better than he used to, because he's not high and drunk.
Yeah.
But he sounded amazing. I was like, man, you go, Billy Idol, right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he Rock and Roll Hall of Fame stuff? I don't know, but he's got my vote.
Yeah, well, that's all that matters.
And In Excess, hello.
Great band.
Yes.
Great band. I've said that for years. That was a powerhouse rock band. I saw them twice, and both times was like, you got to be kidding me. I had no reason to be that excited, but they were killing it.
You're playing Devil Inside, right?
You know who else? You know who else that reminds me? Another great band that's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm fairly certain, but a powerhouse band, mostly because Australian bands are all powerhouses because Australian drummers all hit like Paul Bunyan. Midnight Oil was a badass power band, and plus they had the 6'8" bald menacing singer.
Yes,
that's another one of those bands. It's like, oh yeah, man, they were for a hot minute there. They were huge all around the world, but they were also just a great live, way more punch than you expected if you went to see them.
Yeah,
so there's always so many. We'll keep it going, but right now we got to focus on the top of the hour headlines in 5 minutes and 2 songs.
Gorman in the morning, coming right back. 92 KQRS, streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Happy Friday morning. It is March the 6th. Lisa Miller is in studio.
Oh, yes. Hello.
Feeling very good about that. And Ryder has headlines for us. So it's just a banner day already.
Oh, hell yeah. All right, here we go. Road closures in the South Metro this weekend. 494 is going to be closed in both directions between 35W and Highway 77 from Cedar Avenue from 10 p.m. tonight until 5 a.m. Monday morning. MnDOT is going to be demolishing the 12th Avenue Bridge. So if, like me, you take 62 a bunch of places, that thing is going to be loaded this weekend. I feel like MnDOT has just sniffed summer and decided we're just going for all the construction projects.
Yeah, get out there, guys.
New Bob Dylan exhibit will open at the Bob Dylan Center, which is in Tulsa, which always bothers me. It's going to be called Thin Wild Mercury Dylan 1966, exploring the year after he went electric, and will feature never-before-seen manuscripts, photographs, restored film, the whole shebang.
If you're in Tulsa, go check out Bob. Not a bad place to be, Tulsa. It's just way too far from here.
Dude, it feels like Minnesota or New York, like Greenwich Village specifically is where you should have the Bob Dylan Center.
One would think. I think the real estate's a little cheaper in Tulsa. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
New documentary on SNL's creator Lorne Michaels is going to hit theaters next month, directed by Morgan Neville, who did 20 Feet from Stardom and Man on the Run. Lorne will feature interviews with Lorne Michaels, current and former cast members of SNL, writer, host, etc., in theaters on April 17th. I watched the trailer. It looks like kind of a snoozer. But I know you were a fan of Man on the Run.
Well, Man on the Run, the McCartney doc, I loved because it's just I'm fascinated endlessly by everything Beatle related, and especially what you do when the Beatles end and you're only 27. It's like oh, okay. Or George Harrison, the Beatles are done and you're 26.
Yeah,
have a great rest of your life.
Or 20 Feet from Stardom. That was an amazing
tremendous documentary.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm hopeful.
So, the fact that this guy's making the doc it'll be probably better than most documentaries about a subject of a very droll Canadian TV producer.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's easy to overstate, I guess, but it's like we take it for granted because SNL's just 50 years, 50 years of putting that show up, and everybody loves the SNL of their high school years. Like Lorne Michaels always said, your favorite cast is when you were in high school, wherever years that was. Because I still remember the original Not Ready for Primetime Players. I was 10 when that show debuted, and we watched it every Saturday. And so the first cast was my favorite cast until the late 80s. When Phil Hartman got there, I was like, that's
Phil
my guy now.
Yeah.
And blah, blah, blah. But there's been so many great... I mean, Bill Hader, everything he was ever into me is funny.
Right.
There's so many great cast members. But the one consistent thing about that show is it's always been inconsistent.
Yeah.
Its best season, every other episode kind of sucked.
Yeah.
It's like skits work and then they don't, and you never know why. We all look back and think it used to be so great, and the truth is, no, it wasn't. It was always a variety show, and sometimes the variety was good and bad. Interesting. But anyway, he's held it together that long. So, give him a doc.
We'll see how it goes. And hey, best day for happy hour, surprising nobody. It's today. It's Friday.
Hey.
Yeah.
Every hour's happy on Friday.
I know, except Gen Z says they want to do Saturday. I feel like they don't understand happy hours.
Gen Z, the list of things they don't understand, we don't have time.
Maybe they just want a deal, though. You know, they're going out anyway. Give me a happy hour price.
You know, if we would just get on board with Scandinavia and have a 4-day work week, we could have happy hours on Thursday.
Hallelujah. Yep.
Ooh, I like it.
The Minnesota Wild are out in Vegas. They're working tonight, 9 p.m. puck drop. The Golden Knights are the top team in the Pacific Division, but they're still 10 points behind us in the standings. The Minnesota Timberwolves are now your third place team in the Western Conference.
There we go.
Which is really, really impressive. Houston lost last night to Golden State, so we jumped ahead of them. Let's keep this up, fellas. We want to be, man, if we could get to the 2-hole by the end of the regular season, now we're talking. But I like that 3 spot. It beats the heck out of the 4 spot when you look at the playoff matchups. The Timberwolves have a game tomorrow at home against the Magic, 2 p.m., the odd Saturday 2 p.m. tip-off. And then they're on the road for 4 out west. Minnetonka, Rosemount, Moorhead, Edina. Well played, gentlemen. You have advanced in the boys' state hockey tournament.
Nice
Yesterday's
work.
results.
Yes.
Maple Lake. Let's talk about Maple Lake for a hot second.
Sure.
What are they doing up there?
Man, I had to take a kitty cat to a vet all the way in Maple Lake. It's like an hour drive, but
Yowza.
It was a nice drive.
It's a nice drive.
It's west, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's like northwest.
There's a lake
of
there,
us.
of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
I always say up, regardless of where it is. What are they doing up there? Because we're up here, so I figure everyone's up.
Everybody's up north.
I don't want to bury the lead. Lisa Miller has been with us for a little over an hour, and I've yet to ask you, what's going on with dog poop in your world? Let's have it.
This was our off-air discussion. So I said, we got to talk about it. So, you once said, and I love it because I live this, life rewards action. Isn't that your phrase?
That's me. That's my mantra, baby.
Yeah. And so I have a part-time hustle for fun money as a leasing agent.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's a world that I never dreamed I'd be in. But
Gotcha.
anyway, so in my neighborhood, I'm kind of... I'm tying 2 stories together, but it's poop season. So all the snow's melting. There's dog poop everywhere. We have some person in our neighborhood with a big dog laying some big poop down.
Right,
So I feel like I'm poop patrol, kind of looking out for it. But at this apartment where I work part-time, we have a thing called poop prints. And so when people rent, they do a swab. And we have their DNA. So if their dog poops on the property,
you have their dog's DNA.
We have their dog's DNA.
Okay.
So guess what?
Wow.
We don't have any poop on the property because people don't want to pay the fine.
So you get the dog's DNA when they move in, and then therefore, if there's an unpicked up, if someone leaves behind a poop, you can figure out the dog from which it came.
Oh man!
Holy smokes!
It's brilliant.
I tell you one thing that blows my mind every year is the number of people who think, oh, the snow will eliminate that dog poo. And then the snow melts and you've just got endless dog crap all over my neighborhood. It's ridiculous every time.
Yeah, and who do you think? There's one girl that's I think I know who it is because I'm out in the neighborhood a lot. But so this kind of feisty neighbor is like, you tell me who it is, and I'm going to save this bucket of poop and do something to her car. I'm like, I don't want to take it that far, but I do want to have words. I'm not cleaning up your dog's.
I had a real homeowner incident with dog poop one time where I was sitting the front house. This is in Nashville 20 years ago. I'm looking out of the front window of the house, got a cup of coffee. Kids are in school. It's 9 a.m. I'm just like, sipping coffee.
Yeah.
And I see a woman, and she's pushing a stroller with a baby or a toddler in it, and she's got a black lab, and the black lab is on a leash, and it walks into my yard and takes care of business. And then she just starts to move on without doing a thing about it.
Right.
And I stepped out of my front door, and I said, "Excuse me." And she looked. I said, "Do you didn't have a bag? You need a bag?" And I start walking towards her to give her a bag.
Yeah.
And she looks at me and goes, "No, I'm fine," and just starts to walk away, hurried, like, "Don't talk to me. I've got a stroller." She's one of those new moms.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And I said, "No, you're forgetting this." And she kept walking. And I said, "My kids play in their own front yard."
Yeah.
And she just kept walking. So I went over and I scooped the poo and I tied the bag off.
Yep.
And I was going to fling it so that it landed right near her feet because I was so irate. I just thought it's so irresponsible.
It is, yes.
And I went to do a little underhand scoop, and it was a pretty sizable amount.
It's a lab.
It was a lab. And I underestimated the speed with which that bag might come out of my hand, and I messed up the arc.
No.
I hit her right in the square of her back with a bag of her own, right between the shoulder blades. And it went like... When it flew out, I went, oop, too late. And it just went whap. And so she froze and turned around, saw that I had just hit her with a bag of dog crap. And I thought, I need to apologize. And then I was like, no, you know what?
Right.
And she looked at me, and she turned and was hustling out of there. Never said another, didn't pick it up, left it again.
She didn't pick it up?
And I thought, and I never saw that woman again. And I lived in that house for 20 years. And later it dawned on me, she was probably like visiting. I don't think I had never seen her before or since. She was probably like in visiting her parents from, somewhere else. And like, she's still telling that story. This crazy man in a bathrobe threw a bag of dog poop at my.
But I don't care where you live. Pick up your dog poop.
Always.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nuts.
Yeah.
It's absolutely nuts. We were talking earlier in the show about rock lyrics, bad rock lyrics. You might like the artist, you might love the song, but there's a line you just can't get over. A lot of submissions on the Facebook page, Ryder.
Keep them coming because they're making me giggle. Heather says, Everclear, I will buy you a new car, perfect, shiny, and new. Blue. It should be blue.
It should be.
Perfect, shiny, and blue. I've had that thought many a time.
Wow.
Her placenta falls to the floor from Live.
Oh, boy.
Like, I know many people absolutely love that song, but it's always...
Ed.
Oh, so gross.
Not necessary at all.
And I can't remember who the band is, but the lyric is... Happy birthday, Mr. Ryder, whose exclusive Meat Puppet 7 inches on sale today at Down in the Valley.
That's a banger.
Not a great line.
That's a banger right there.
But a very good song.
It rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Say, what's that line again?
Happy birthday, Mr. Ryder, whose Meat Puppets exclusive 7 inches on sale today at Down in the Valley.
Oh, it's just lyrical. It's like Mary Had a Little Lamb. You just want to do it in the round.
Yeah, I don't know if I like it so much.
Right on. Happy birthday, Mr. Ryder.
Yes, happy birthday, Mr. Ryder.
Bang.
He's not listening, so go to the store and tell him I gave him a plug.
That's a lovely, lovely gesture on your part.
Yeah.
Golfers, heads up.
Uh-huh.
The 2026 Tee It Up Golf Card number 3 is on sale today at 9 a.m. Golf 7 area courses for just $149. That is a bargain, baby. Buy your card today at 92kqrs.com. Here's today's last word from Mark Twain, of course,
all right,
as it is Friday. The difference between the almost right word and the right word is really a large matter. It's the difference between the lightning bug and the lightning.
That's probably my favorite Mark Twain one.
It's a good one.
I nailed it there.
Monday on this very show, the hockey hair guy, John King.
Yes.
We will recap the best of the boys state tourney. Fletcher will be back in his stead. And, Between now and then, I hope everybody has a great weekend. Here's a good way to keep the weekend rolling on the right foot. Lisa Miller. More with Lisa coming up next on 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.